start off with I both love and hate mock drafts because every single mock draft is done in a vacuum. With everything being done in a vacuum, it just all you ever see is we selected this person. Okay, who else was available? I made a very long comment on a mock draft last night, and I felt like if I'm going to make a complaint about it, then I should at least do one myself. So I'm going to do 2 mock drafts on 2 different sites. One's going to be PFF, one's going to be Mock Drafts Database Simulator. And the reason being, every single draft site, every mock draft site you go into has different algorithm, has different settings for what each team is going to do. The first mock draft I did, where I didn't actually save it because I was like, okay, click on this one. The Steelers have the option of drafting Caleb Williams. Okay, that's not happening. I'm just going to delete this because that was enough. That was enough internet for that day because there is no way that any one of the top 3 quarterbacks is dropping to us at 20. So, let's get over here. Alright, as you can see, mock draft simulation database. I selected Pittsburgh. 20. Going to do a full 7-round mock draft. Probably not going to accept any of the trades they do because all of them are just terrible. But fast, standard, enter. And start. So as you see all these people that, again, I'm rejecting all trade offers. And Caleb Williams went 1, Daniels 2. There's no way that New England drafts a receiver over a quarterback. None of these others is too surprising. Yeah, Atlanta would love for May to fall to them. Fuago, Arnold, Verse, Wiggins. So Pittsburgh at 20 has the option to draft either a tight end, which we don't need, Kool-Aid, which we do need. The most frequent person I see mocked to the Steelers is right here. I don't know if you can see, but it's Jackson Powers Johnson, the center from Oregon. If one of the top cornerbacks is available, we might take him. We don't need Bowers. I don't know where he would actually go, but go ahead and draft JPJ simply because that allows us to put Cole as the veteran. No. And then you get to the second round. Drafting JPJ allows us to put Cole as a veteran back up to show him how to be a pro and not have to be showing him on the field. I'm not predicting any free agency. I don't know how any of that's going to work out. This is, again, just in the bubble. Because, again, the mock draft I looked at last night, it showed that if we do some restructuring, some releases, we can free up 15 to 25 million. And I'm like, okay, where are those numbers coming from? Who signed for what? And then the replacements were eating up all of that. So I'm not going into any free agency. Second round, it says that what we need is, well, we know what we need. We need another safety to pair with Minka. We need another cornerback because, again, without Levi there, we don't have an outside cornerback unless we stick with Peterson, who I think pairs better as switching between a hybrid safety. They're suggesting Roman Wilson or TJ Tampa. At 51, do I trust Holcomb to come back healthy? Do I trust Roberts to stay healthy? Or do I think Robinson is going to step up and be a full-time player. So, cornerback top one is 59th. That's a little bit of a reach, but whatever. Linebacker, Cooper fits right in, 51, 52. O tackle, we're now to the point where everyone is a reach, so not worth it. Quarterback, I saw someone mock Rattler to us in the 4th round. If he's 89th, that's probably not happening with our 120, 121. Safety, Newbin at 43. That would be a win according to their rankings on the mock draft database. Do I want another D lineman? Cam's getting old. Cam may retire after next year. No idea. We have Larry. We've got Kenton, or we have Keanu. We have. I mean, that would be a good move. Yep, we'll go ahead and get some sweat. Get a Texas lineman. In 3rd round is where it can get kind of interesting. Because I don't know if I just like the name because it's Trotter Jr. I've seen some good and bad. They're suggesting another tackle. I haven't looked into it nearly enough to see whether or not he would be a right tackle. But I know that we need a linebacker because the depth that we had last year was completely shredded. 3rd round for Trotter would be a huge steal. And after this point, it just kind of gets to be filling in pieces. I'm not drafting a receiver because I believe in the 3 that we have, or technically the 4. I don't think we've released Robinson yet. But we've got Pickens, we've got Johnson, and we've got Calvin Austin III. And those 3 we need to get them the ball. According to other things I've seen, Arthur Smith is going to have more tight end heavy, so we're not going to have a whole lot of 3 or 4 or 5 wide receivers out there. So this, not really what I would be looking for. I'm not drafting a running back. Yes, Jalen's going into the end of his 3rd contract, or 3rd year for his rookie undrafted free agent contract. However, because he will be a restricted free agent, we will have the exclusive rights to tag him as, I don't know what tag he'll receive, but he's not going anywhere this year or next year, and then we can worry about signing him long term. But I'm not going to draft somebody and pay him more than Jalen when Jalen is going to be better and more established than anyone else. So I think we'll go with DJ James because I've heard that's a good name there. Reject. And who's available for quarterbacks? I think this is where I'm going to do a bit of a gamble. As it stands right now, we have Kenny Pickett under contract, and that's it. A 4th rounder is not going to be an immediate threat, but it's going to be saying, hey, get ready. Be prepared to earn it. And if we go beyond that, it comes to, well, are you going to get lucky and it's someone that's actually, well, are you going to get lucky or not? Anything beyond 1st round, it's a lot of luck. Actually, even in the 1st round, it's a lot of luck. No. right. Who do we have for tackles? It's one of those things where I haven't gone too far into depth into who to get. But it's simply, you know, that's right in line with their rankings. So I think it's an okay. Got some good grades here on my drafting according to their numbers. Do we want to risk drafting a punter? Or do we think we can get Barry back? Barry did well. Barry did very well for us. We've got, well, Golden, I think Golden only signed a 1-year deal, so I will take that steal of 195th ranked at 238. Let's hit save just so I can go over. So, I would love for Jackson Powers Johnson to fall to us. I don't know if it'd be a fall or if it would be a good pick, simply because it's a position that not that we need it, but it would be an almost immediate upgrade over what we have. If you go back to one of my other videos, I talk about how, per the rankings of Madden, Mason Cole should not be starting. We got T'Vondre Sweat, who I've heard good things about. Jeremiah Trotter Jr., I've seen a lot of people who are happy with that. DJ James, again, heard good things about him. The other guys, okay. I just went with what the numbers on the draft board say. So this is the part that always bothers me with watching anyone do a mock draft. Who else was available? Now, I showed mine simply because I didn't want to go through the whole editing process because I'm being lazy today. That's going to happen. That's going to happen. That's not happening. There's no way. Oh, you guys can't see my pointer. But Williams will happen. Daniels will happen. Whether it be Drake or Daniels, Washington's picking a quarterback. There's no way that the Patriots pick Odunze unless they sign Kirk Cousins. Which, not impossible, but it would be a huge move, and I don't know whether Mayo wants to go into his first year as a head coach with a rookie and try and build from that, or if he wants to sign the biggest name free agent quarterback possible. I've seen that's going to happen. The Chargers are in trouble. The Chargers have a new head coach. They've got a quarterback who played through a compound fracture of his finger. His bone was sticking out of his hand. They've also got two receivers who are over 30 who can't stay healthy. So that makes sense. Olu going to the Giants makes sense. Alt to the Titans makes sense. That would be a dream scenario where the number 3 quarterback falls to number 8. Bears signing an edge or drafting an edge player. Okay. The Jets protecting Rodgers. Perfect. The Vikings getting a cornerback. Okay. Again, depends on what happens with Kirk Cousins. They may reach for McCarthy. They may go with that. Broncos, they need a quarterback. But this is probably going off of, well, they have Russ because he's not been released yet. I don't know, like, the Saints are so far over the cap. It's not even, it just boggles the mind. Latham would have been the player that the If Latham or Mims had been available, it would have been more of a, do I take a tackle or do I take the center? Mims has the physicality of the role needed, but he does not have the health. He's only started 8 games, but it's 8 games for Georgia. Latham has been a beast for Alabama. Fontenot, again, hard choice. I'm pretty sure I've looked up Guyton, the tackle out of Oklahoma. I will be happy if I have to choose between Kool-Aid and JPJ. But beyond that, like that first round, it fell the way most of the ones I see fall happen. The biggest faller this time was Brock Bowers, the tight end from Georgia. I mean, I can honestly see him being the 6th ranked player on this site and being the top tight end. He can go anywhere in the first round, or I doubt he falls, but they could fall out simply because there's so much everywhere, and every team is like, we have to have this person, or we have to have this position filled. So going into the second round, J.J. McCarthy. Oh, okay. There's a perfect thing to happen for the Patriots is the number 4 quarterback McCarthy falls to them in the second round. That would make their day. Actually, that would make their year. Adonai Mitchell going to the Titans. Yeah. Bo Nix. See, this is one of those that I've seen people mocking Bo Nix, even in the first round, the Steelers picking Bo Nix at 20. And I'm like, they will not do that. Now, again, I drafted someone in the 4th round as a camp arm, as a long-term backup, push each other, the fun thing of iron sharpens iron. Penix going to the Raiders there also makes sense. Yeah, I'm now out of people I know anything about. TJ Tampa going to Tampa. There's fun. Is that the Ravens selected an edge rusher and a D lineman? So I wonder if they're counting Madubuike as going to as re-signing or not. But yeah, there's mock draft 1 from NFLmockdraftdatabase.com. Switching over to PFF, select as soon as I can find the Steelers. Fast. They'll only let me do 3 rounds because I'm not paying for it. Enter the draft. Start draft. And you can see already the difference. We've got Caleb Williams going first, Marvin Harrison going to the Commanders, May going to the Patriots, neighbors, Brock Bowers. Okay, again, there's another spot that he could go. I can't name the Chargers tight end, so perfect spot for him. Cornerback to the Giants, probably not. Probably not. Cooper to the Falcons. Murphy. Again, the Jets picking up a tackle. See, this right here, they've got Jefferson and Jameson. They don't need a third first-round receiver. They are not. It's not like when the Lions drafted back to back receivers. So this is why I hate mock drafts, but also why I love it, because I love seeing who's available. And the Raiders selecting an edge rusher. The Broncos going with Olu, because I'm not going to try and say his whole name. If I'm the Saints at 14 and Jaden Daniels is still available, am I drafting someone to replace or compete with Derek Carr? Sorry, wrong Carr, brother. Or am I drafting someone to replace Cameron Jordan? I feel I would select Daniels and get prepared for the future. Have him learn behind Carr or just replace Carr, because they need to get their salary cap under control. Again, they're like $75 million over the cap, over the anticipated cap. Latham going to the Colts. Okay, they need an O-line. Cornerback. Okay, cornerback. Defensive interior. Okay. And then here we have a reversal of last time, of the other draft, where the Rams selected Latham right before we went. Filter position, O-tackle. So we've got Mims available, but again, Mims has the injury history, or the lack of anything. What else do we need? Linebacker. Nope. Get rid of that. There's no linebacker worth a first-round pick according to their rankings. Yeah, Trotter. Yeah, Jaden Daniels is ranked 22nd. Average draft position is 9.7. So I could anticipate a trade if someone, because there's no way that Daniels, who's being talked up as possibly one of the top 3 picks, falls to 20. Although Aaron Rodgers fell to 24. So you never know what's going to happen. 3 trade options? No. In this case, I'm probably... Do I take Kool-Aid, pair him with JPJ, and have a pair of elite corners? Or do I draft... He's a left tackle, though. I don't want to... Because Mims himself... Mims is a right tackle. His problem is he can't stay healthy. So it would be great if Mims... Where's Barton? It's like, this is the advantage of PFF, as much as I will dog on PFF for their rankings and how terrible they can be. Is you get to see more of a breakdown than with this particular mock draft database. Because PFF has a more complete website than just mock draft. What's it say about Kool-Aid? Overall grade, fantastic. Games played, 14, 13, 11. Snaps, lots, receptions, allowed 19 out of... So they only targeted him 39 times. 1 touchdown. Passer rating, 73, which is worse than he was last year. First look, 6'1", 195. His average draft position has been dropping. 10% of mock drafters have him going to the Steelers. Analysis. Now here's a guy. Yeah. What do they say about Mims? Yeah, I can't draft Mims. I can't rely on someone who can't stay healthy. So I'm going to go with Kool-Aid. And I'm fine with that. I would take one of the biggest name cornerbacks. See right there? The Rams select Michael Penix Jr. That would be a sneaky good move because Stafford's getting, he's pretty old. What we got for interior O-line? Do I think that he will last until average draft position 96.8? So I should be able to wait for him. I don't want a second round edge. We have done fantastic in the second round. The Steelers have done fantastic second round with receivers. Go away, Limas Swede. We're not going to talk about you. First look, 5'11", 195, stats. Missed tackles, not great. Assisted tackles. He rushed 23 times. Didn't play only 596 snaps. And missed a couple games. We could get Jenkins. That would give us Cam and Larry O. Although one or both of them, I hate to say it, one or both of them could be cut. And that would free up a lot of cap space. I don't want to think about cutting Cam because he's Captain Cam. The Walter Payton Man of the Year award winner has been cut by his team. But that would give us Leal, Benton, and Jenkins as the future of the defensive line. That would be a replacement for Adams. That would allow Loudermilk to not be there, although he's been a decent depth piece. We wouldn't have to worry about re-signing Watts. Yeah, talked myself into it. Drafting Chris Jenkins. So we're just going to continue with the legacy here, just continuously getting second or third generation. See right there. I could go for. Van Pran. Games played, snaps, run block, pass block, 77. Allowed 13 hurries. 1 hurry a game. Only played center. Since I didn't... Who did I draft? I forgot who I drafted. Fontenot? Nope, Kool-Aid. Yeah, I'm not going to ask someone to... I'm not going to draft a... I am not going to draft a left tackle and expect him to move to the right. Yes, Broderick did great with it, but he is going to be the exception and not the rule. Center out of... Go back to the well. Get the guy from Georgia. So my 3-round mock draft through PFF is Kool-Aid, Jenkins, and Van Pran. Drafted a little bit early in each spot, but I'm okay with that by the PFF big board. Now the full results, I don't want to. Alright, it's not going to let me show. But y'all saw, well, anyone who sees this was going to see that it's mock drafts exist in a vacuum. Depending on nope. Okay. Left, right. Nope. I want both of them. Alright, fine. It's being stupid. Won't let me do what I want it to do. What do you get for trying to be fancy? So you can see that they don't exist in the bubble. You know, that you can depending on which site you go with, depending on what settings you put in. I've had, like last year, I did a lot of mock drafts where it was, one or two players consistently fell. And it's always the same ones, and it's always why. And I think it was, I want to say Van Ness. I think he got picked up by the Packers. I could be wrong. But there's always one or two players that falls for no reason. In the one, it was Bowers, who was still available. In the other, it was Jalen Daniels. There is no way that quarterback is going to be available at 20 unless you go with this mock draft site. There's no way that Bowers will still be available unless you go with this other random draft site. So, yeah, that was going to be about 35 minutes after everything, but I just wanted to do a mock draft because it's fun. I love mock drafts. I love draft season. I love draft time. I love talking about these types of things, and so many people out there are going to say, well, we need to get this guy, or we need to get that guy, or you can't draft him, or you have to draft him. And you never know who's going to fall. When the Steelers drafted Rod Woodson, they didn't even schedule an interview with him. They didn't work him out because they said there's no way he's going to fall to us. And then he fell. He became a Hall of Fame Steeler. And 1 year as a 49er. You know how it went. Hashtag never going to be sponsored. But you do your basic homework on every player, and the way that Mike Tomlin has done it for 17 years now is you lay a foundation of a relationship. You keep your draft notes, you update your draft stock, and 4 or 5 years down the road when they hit free agency, you dust off that notebook and be like, hey, we wanted you then, we want you now. We've seen what you can do. We think we can work with you. We like to do business with you, as the saying goes. Moats, as Arthur Moats says, hey, we want to work with you. We want to do business with you. So it's fun. I'm going to be doing more of these. Again, this was just I don't want to edit a video, so I decided to do a live stream, and it's again I love mock drafts. I love draft season. I love seeing who does well. We've got I am in Indiana. A painful alliteration there. So we just had the All-Star game for the NBA, and we are getting ready to host the Underwear Olympics, also known as the NFL Combine. So, yeah, I look forward to learning more about these young men, as we see who's going to become a Steeler that we love and who's going to become a Raven that we hate. It's you don't want to win the off season, but the way that Omar and Tomlin did last year with the foundations they laid with Jones and Porter and Benton and Washington, like it was. The draft was beautiful, and everything that happened last year, with Pickett, I still have faith for Pickett, George Pickens, Jaylen Warren. I like DeMarvin Leal. He just got asked to move around a lot more than what he might have been comfortable with because of the injuries and all of that. I like Robinson. The last two drafts have built a great foundation for the future. And I just hope that it continues and we're no longer on the path to 7. We're hunting for the number 8. But it's going to be hard. We've got to get under the cap, find some wiggle room. I'll be doing... I've got some things planned for cap wiggles and potential free agents. But yeah, we'll be doing another mock draft here in a couple weeks after, just after I feel like it. So thanks for stopping by. Thanks for clicking on this. If you made it this far, all those wonderful things, like, subscribe, follow, click notification bar, or bell. Not Le'Veon Bell, though. No, I don't want him back on the team. No.